how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So good to see your faces. For those of you who are joining us by Zoom, we always love getting to see you, bringing Shabbat in your homes. For anyone who's joining us via live stream, a reminder that on Friday nights, we invite you to have a little bit more of an intimate experience, a more communal experience, and join us via Zoom. So we invite you to find the link on our website and do that. We will begin our service with Romamu on page 20 in the Siddur Lev Shalem.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Let's hear it. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu.
We'll turn now to Lecha Dodi. We're on page 23. We will do the first verse together and then the last verse. And a reminder that when we get to the last verse, we'll all rise and face the entrance of whatever room you happen to be in right now. Page 23, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'kamerai. בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לחדותי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת בקבלה, לחדותי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת בקבלה. We remain standing. We turn to page 39A. Well, I pick up my guitar pick and we continue with Boruchu. So you know what to do. La 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai hamivorach. Baruch Adonai hamivorach, hamivorach leolam va'ed. Hamivorach, hamivorach leolam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamivorach leolam va'ed. La 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 la. And we turn to page 40 for Ki Hem Chayenu, and you may be seated, and if you know the dance, feel free. Shabbat dancing is always encouraged, wherever you are. Ki Hem Chayenu, Ve'yorech Yameinu, Uvahem Negei Omam Balayla. Ki Hem Chayenu, Ve'yorech Yameinu, Uvahem Negei Omam Balayla. Ki Hem Chayenu V'yorech Yameinu, Uvahem Negei Omam Balayla. Ki Hem Chayenu V'yorech Yameinu, Uvahem Negei Omam Balayla. V'avatecha al tasir mimenu leolamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
We'll continue now with the Shema. We'll invite you to take a nice deep breath as we prepare to say really our central prayer and declaration of our faith, the Shema, page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi Mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam V'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leod al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beineinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. We continue silently, page 42. Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
We continue with Mi Chamocha, page 44.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh nora tehilot osef elech. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh nora tehilot osef Machutecha ra'uvanecha Lokeyam lifnei Moshe Ze'elianu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha neder b'kodesh nora tehilot osef Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. We're going to turn to Hashkivenu, which can be found on page 45, although I think a lot of you know this. I haven't done this melody in a long time. Just bring it, just sing it, harmonize, do whatever you want. It's a prayer of shelter. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom v'ha'amidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. So we turn to Vishamru, page 46. Join along with me. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat l'dorotam berit olam.
So when baby Moses was put in the Nile River to float away from his mother, what was he put into? You can, if you're with us on Zoom, you can unmute with just one word. Unmute if you know. What was baby Moses put into to float in the Nile River? An English word?
A basket.
Thank you, Clarissa. A basket. Okay. And this week, we're reading about Noah and the flood. And what did Noah build to save some people and animals from the great flood? You can unmute if you know. One word.
Ark.
An ark. Thank you, Judy. All right. So we have a basket and an ark. And actually, in the Torah, these are the same word. Moses was put into a teva, and Moses and Noah built a teva. These are the only two contexts in which that word appears in the Torah. So it's kind of a challenge to figure out exactly what it means, right? Because one seems to mean a small woven basket, right? Just big enough to fit one baby boy. And one seems to mean a large ark made to sustain many, many animals and people during a violent storm. That we picture different things in our heads, right? They're different pictures, different concepts. But ultimately, the function of a teva is the same. Think about it. It rescues those who would otherwise be drowning. Moses was in danger of being thrown into the Nile, as all baby boys were, and the teva saved him from drowning. All creatures on earth were in danger of drowning in the great flood, and Noah's teva saved them as well. I don't know about you, but lately I think many people have been feeling like they're drowning. It's not surprising, right? We've spent 7 months at home at this point, and we're facing more, and we don't know how much more. Something I've heard from many people is that it's hard just not to have things to get excited about because the future is so unknown. So I want you to think about what your teva is. What is it that sustains you? What is it that keeps you from drowning? Whether it's a big ark or a small basket. What is that teva? Maybe it's a person, right? A significant other, a close friend, a family member. Maybe it's an activity, getting to take walks outside or learning a new skill. Maybe it's a comfort food. Or maybe I want to suggest, maybe it's Jewish ritual or Jewish community. Maybe it's joining our candle lightings on Friday nights or Havdalah on Saturday nights. Maybe it's baking challah each week and figuring out what flavor challah you're going to have that week. Maybe it's coming to one of our virtual adult education classes or programs. Maybe you go to Rabbi Vogel's Torah class on Thursdays or my Talmud class on Fridays or one of our other opportunities. Maybe it's joining these Friday night services or our Kiddush lunch on Saturday mornings. If you haven't found a teva that's working for you yet, if you haven't found something yet that makes you feel like it saves you from the drowning, a big old ark or a small basket, a something that sustains you, if you haven't found a teva that's working for you yet, give Jewish ritual a try. Ritual has been our people's teva, so to speak, for a really long time, and it could be yours too. We're going to continue, speaking of ritual, with our service now. We are, Hazan Mimi, help me figure out where we are here.
We are actually at the Hatzi Kaddish, which is page 46.
Thank you.
Yitkadav v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayedecho beit Yisrael Bagala u'vizman kariv imeru Amen Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam alam me'amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach Yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal Shemei dekudesha berichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushmechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma b'meru Amen.
We'll continue now with the Amidah. It begins on page 47 and goes through page 52. Take some time, say your own personal prayers. You can pray in the Hebrew, in the English, or whatever prayers are in your heart. But first, we'll invite you to rise and join with us in the first 6 words together.
Adonai. Ananana svatai tiftach. Ananana ufi tehilatecha. Ananana Adonai. Ananana svatai tiftach. Ananana ufi What's in a rainbow that makes it so magical? Linking the present to promises of old. I seek in colors, heart stretching far beyond the heavens, dreams not forgotten, memories unfold. Where there's a rainbow, we thank the Holy One, thinking of promises made long ago. So when we thank you and sing of your miracles, we know that the rainbow is a promise we make to Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zocher habrit v'ne'eman bivrito v'kayam b'mamaro. So when we thank you and sing of your miracles, we know that the rainbow is a promise we make to.
So beautiful. Thank you, Chazan Mimi. For those of you who don't know, we sang this rainbow song tonight in honor of Parshat Noach that we're reading this week, because this is when we learn about the rainbow being a special sign of a covenant between people and God, that God won't destroy us by flood ever again. We'll continue now with a prayer for healing. We know that so many of us are in need of healing, whether it's physical or emotional. So we'll join together in Rifa'enu.
Rifa'enu Adonai v'nei rafeh. God, only you can bring true healing, and so we pray. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei Chalei Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Shechinahu, restores our loved ones, heal our people speedily in our day. And let us say, Amen.
We rise for Aleinu, page 56.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula le'otzer breshit, shelo asanu ki goyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu ki mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu kevohamonam, va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notes shamayim ve'oser haaretz umoshav yekaro b'shamayim ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
This week, we are remembering the following yahrzeits with love: David Abrams, Kay Shalom, Alfred Dinsfried, Edward Halpern, Rebecca Lieber, Julius Long, Philip Marchant, Barbara Marer, William Moss, Harold Dine, Daniel Green, Hilda Rosenbaum, Marvin Schiff, Martin Krischel, Walter Levin, Irene Myers, Paul Pravda, Bart Riven, Cheryl Zigman, Henry Bernhardt, Sam Nager, Sari Rosenfeld, Sherman Black, Steve Farkas, Vivian Gelfand, Abraham Moshe Ibar, Ignaz Kornblum, Stanley Langer, Ellen Rubin, Samuel Schatzkin, Ora Siedner, Leonard Steele, Martin Dubin, Frida Edelman, Milton Fleischer, Florence Olshan, Pamela Rehetzak, Sydney Blum, Marvin Deshevsky, Phil Dunn, Helen Rosenberg, Benjamin Stein, Ruth Sternhill, and Stephen Weinstein. For anyone who is observing a yahrzeit or is in a period of mourning, for anyone who has need or desire to recite the words of Mourner's Kaddish, we'll invite you to rise and join with us, page 58. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach kiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayeh jechol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almayah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudsha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'ibru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We have some announcements for you. So first of all, please join us tomorrow morning for our regular Shabbat morning service, 10:30. And of course, have your lunch ready in advance so that you can join us afterwards for our Kiddush lunch that we all love so much. Some exciting news for next Shabbat, actually. We're going to experiment with an abbreviated in-person service. It will be held outside with a very limited amount of physically distanced seating. The service will begin at 9 a.m. and it will end prior to the start of our usual 10:30 a.m. service that's live stream, which we will also hold. So if you are interested in attending that service, just make sure and RSVP. The link was sent out in today's Shabbat email, and it can also be found on our website calendar on October 31st. We have many, many great programs for everybody of all ages coming up in the next several weeks. Everyone who is 7 and under is invited to a virtual book reading with the author on October 29th. It's an ECE event if you go with your goat to vote, and you can find the information for that on our website. We have 2 events on October 29th, one for our 20s group, Chai, and one for our 30s group, Sababa. And you can be in touch with me. Oh, Hazan Mimi is holding up, for those of you who can see on Zoom, is holding up, if you go with your goat to vote, a wonderful book for kids about voting. If you're in your 20s or 30s, be in touch with me or look on our website for information about our events, 2 events, both happening on October 29th. Rabbi Vogel has a Tasty Guys Night happening on November 5th. We have a very important discussion event coming up on November 10th, 1 week after the election, when we realize people have so much trouble, all of us, talking to people with whom we disagree. So we're bringing in a special guest educator speaker, Billy Planer, who's going to help us talk about how to be comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. And I hope you'll challenge yourself to join the event and be part of it. We also have a men's club and women of Aliyah. Each of them have special events coming up in November. We are also kicking off 2 brand new adult education courses in November. I am teaching Shabbat for busy families for ECE parents, which will be Tuesdays in November. And Rabbi Vogel is teaching a new class entitled Finding Meaning, Spirituality, and a Deeper Connection to Life in Judaism, where he'll be reading a book by Sarah Hurwitz, a very popular book, along with members of the class. This is geared towards parents of elementary school aged children, approximately. And that class will be monthly, beginning in November. So if you didn't memorize all of that, which I certainly didn't, you can find all of it on our website, templealiyah.org, as always. And most importantly, if you remember nothing else that I just said, just remember we're all here for you. The clergy, the staff, all of us, we are working hard from home. And even though our building is closed, we are always available to you by email. And that's the best way to be in touch with us if you're in need of any assistance during this challenging time. We wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and Chazan Mimi, take it away.
I will, with Shalom Aleichem, which will be page 5. But I do want to say one thing. You can be over 7 and go and hear the book reading. It's really a very cute book. If you have grandkids, it's a perfect book for them. And I highly recommend it. And yes, I know the author. So, but I know I was at the kickoff of this book, so I know what's in there. So I hope you'll join us 4 o'clock on Thursday. And let us join in Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, Bochem, the Shalom, Malchei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu, Nil Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu, Nil Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, Seidchem, the Shalom, Malchei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbat.
Shalom, y'all.